here. We're building another go-kart. This one's Chase's. He got everything pretty cheap. So how much did you pay for everything, Chase?
15 in the frame. I bought some wheels that were like 20, 25 bucks. Yeah, 4 wheels. I don't even think I'm going to use 2 of them though, unfortunately. I bought some hardware for the front to get the steering tightened up. Yeah, I bought a stick of 1-inch square 11 gauge tubing. I got a 20-foot stick for like 13 bucks. The 1/8-inch plate that we're building our motor plate and our axle brackets and everything out of. I already had that laying around the shop. I bought a tiller for 50 bucks and pulled the motor off of it. It's a 5-horse Briggs, flathead Briggs. That's just a temporary thing, just for mock-up really. I might ride on it for a minute, but I'm gonna buy a Predator. I spent a lot on bearings and brackets and hubs and all that kind of stuff at Tractor Supply. But this is just marked up, held in with vice grips right now. I've got the axle pretty centered. I don't know if I want to put my motor right there or not. I haven't decided. Only problems that I'm thinking of right now is if I put the axle there or the motor there, then I'm going to have to figure out a place to put my brake and my brake caliper. I don't want my sprocket and my brake disc being on top of each other.
You put it on the outside.
That's what I was getting ready to say, is if I have enough room, because there's going to be, I'm going to take a couple inches off this axle. I'm going to cut this off flush and then drill and tap it to accept just a 1-inch keyed hub. I've got a machine shop that's going to key the axle for me for free. So I could put the brake disc on the outside. I think that's it. I just need to decide where I want to push this axle. I mean, that's pretty far back. I was hoping to keep the wheelbase kind of short. I don't know if I want to put my motor, that motor looks kind of funky sitting right there. I mean, I could move it up. It's just going to have more chain. I could leave the axle right where it's at and just move the motor up as far as I can to the seat. Every go-kart that I've ever owned, ever built, has slack. You can hold this wheel still, and the only slack you get, there's not even any side-to-side slack. The only slack you get is up and down from the steering stand.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can stand on this front end and turn it.
It feels buttery.
Yeah, it's super smooth. But anyways, let's move this motor plate up and reclamp it and see what we think. Something like that, maybe. I just gotta make sure we have enough room to clear the seat up here. But this is with the motor up front. See, I think that's gonna be better, honestly. Will you put that blast abrasive back up there? This is framed in. I don't know. I don't know what I need to do about these. I want to trim some of this axle, or some of these axle brackets, you know what I mean? I just don't know how much I should trim because I want to leave enough room to put some bracing in. Only got about 1.1 inch. So if I put a piece of 1-inch square tubing down this, it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I don't know, I mean, we've got, what, 2.5 inches?
Yeah.
From, I'm worried about, well, I guess I need to measure from axle center line. About 3 inches. I really want to trim this up so this isn't hanging down so bad.
Yeah.
I'd really like to trim it.
I'd wait till we get
like this.
Everything on there.
And then kind of come up like that.
Yeah.
But if I do that, then I don't leave any room for bracing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have it welded here on the sides and on the bottom side.
But whenever you're going around a corner and, you know, like,
yeah,
if there's a little dip in the ground, once that axle hits that dip, it's going to try to fold.
Oh, I know.
It's definitely
going to try to bend. But, I mean, like I said, I don't know how else to brace it. I don't want to leave that big-ass ugly square on the back of it because that's definitely going to drag on something. So I have to find out a way to leave room for bracing. I mean, once I weld that, we're about as high up as we can get with this plate. I think I just need to quit thinking about it and do it.
Yep.
Really.
Start tapping some things. It's a go-kart.
Yeah, I know. I'm overthinking it, trying to make it perfect. We need to decide what we're doing with these axle brackets because I need to trim them up before I tack them on.
Well, I mean, we don't really have to have it. We could just have the square tubing go down halfway, because then it has bracing halfway, and there's going to be less leverage to fold this in. Really, all the leverage is going to come from it having such a long piece to fold. If it only has, you know, what is this, probably 2 inches to fold, it's not going to fold. So, and plus, like, you know, from the top of that to center line of the axle,
so,
be enough bracing. Okay,
hold on. Let's see. From the bottom of the frame to the center, that's 2 inches. Yep. Let me cut a 2-inch piece of 1-inch square real quick.
All right.
Let's sit in the water puddle for a second.
You can really see it. We're quenching it.
Really, I could cut it. I mean, I could weld it right there, bead there, bead on the back side, and then we'll just cut this to meet this side. Man, this curve is gonna be a bitch to cut. With a grinder?
Yeah.
I wonder if we should just cut it straight across. And then just run a piece of pipe all the way down to the bottom. Just cut it flush with this. And then run a piece of pipe all the way down to the bottom. So,
yeah, I mean, now that I see a 2-inch piece on there, it doesn't look great. And it'd be more sturdy to actually bring one all the way down. So, there's no point in not.
So, a 4-inch piece.
You got 2 braces cut out there?
Yeah.
Where's your hood?
You're never gonna show you. Missed that one. Well, no, I didn't.
It penetrated through.
Shit, it was really tight. Jesus. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. Us doing sound in it, or do you do music?
There's sound.
Like, is this gonna be in the music? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is all gonna be in the video. We're going on YouTube right now. What's up, bro? Okay.
So now we got the engine bracket on there. We still have to have the plate and get the notches cut in it, but well, that's going to be fun to try to figure out. Get the
all right.
Square. And
We just need to figure out what size hole we want to build. Or what size hole we want to cut in it. It's going to be really hot. Like I said, I'm going to make the holes a little bit bigger.
Yep.
And then the bolt holes, that way we have a little bit of room to, because I know that plate's not square. It came out of a scrap pile, so it's kind of hard to get it.
so with this axle, we got a free caliper and rotor, and we're trying to figure out how this will work because it needs to pull this arm to squeeze the, you know, well, whatever you call, I guess, the piston. For the piston to push on the rotor, but with it clocked like this, if it pulls any, it's going to hit the axle. And so Chase had the idea that we should be able to loosen this and clock this arm back so we have more room. I mean, I'm just not sure though. and we should have more room. It just depends on how this arm is attached to that piston. It could be splined, it could be keyed, it could just be tightened on there. We just don't know right now.
I mean, I think worst comes to worst, we could build a new one of these arms.
Yeah.
Take this off and let's take it off real quick.
So after all this, we're going to call it a night. We couldn't really figure out a way to get that caliper to work the way we want it to with the parts we have. I think Chase kind of had the idea also that if we got like a bigger rotor, then that arm would probably have clearance and not be hitting the axle. So one thing we also have to worry about when we talk about clearance is also ground clearance if we get a bigger rotor, because that rotor is 4.5 inches, which isn't big if you're looking at tires. I mean, the ones that are on the front are probably 8, maybe. I think they're 10. I don't know. But yeah. So with all that, we're gonna call it a night. And Chase would like to thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And so would I. Hopefully we get this done pretty soon. Like I said, I mean, we made progress. We have that whole back end on. We have the axle in there. We got the bracket done, and we still need to make holes for that engine mount, but we think we're going to use that. The old one is our template, but yeah, pretty productive.